I was thinking about one thing when we were just talking about process before, and I think that one thing that's been really interesting is being in this space of having just put a book out and wanting to read from it and be present with it, and it's kind of been a total joy to live with these poems and to, I had a leave of absence from my teaching job. I took that on purpose, and it was unpaid, but I knew that was happening, and I wanted to be able to enjoy. It's been a long process to get a book out, so I wanted to be able to travel with the book and be present with it and read from it and travel across the country and try to read in as many venues as I could with it. And it's been really fun to do that, but also this weird kind of thing of not quite living in the past, but living with these poems that came out of this, 10 to 15 year period when I've been working on these poems. I probably keep changing that number, 12, 13, 14, 15, but decade and a half, let's say. And it's interesting as a writer, to be that present with these older poems, and then to sort of be on the cusp of, then there's the canyon and the new void, which is what to do next as a project. And I'm finding it very interesting. I had some time to write in the fall and did some residencies, and I was, I'm trying to sort of find my way towards what the next book will be. And even thinking that way feels sort of strange, like that I'm thinking in terms of the next book, the next project. And in some ways it's very liberating and playful to not have a project, but also worrisome in that what's going to come next? Where is the work going to go? Also, as being an avid reader and a teacher, and thinking, will my style change? Some of the poets, Joy Graham was one of my teachers in grad school, and one of the things that I like about her work and the trajectory of her work is how it changed over time, and being able to see an evolution of style and shifts in style over time is interesting. For me as a reader, I like to see people who shift and change and try new things. And there are also a lot of poets who, it sounds pejorative or critical, but they write the same poem and they're really good at it. Charles Simic is somebody whose poetry I love, and what he does with an image is amazing. I don't know how much stylistically he's changed over the years. You can read a book of his from 20 years ago and a book of his from 5 or 6 years ago, and you'll recognize and you'll see that consistency throughout. And some would argue that's a great thing, and some might get bored with it and move away from it because of that. So it's interesting then to go from this situation where you're conscious of these things as a reader of somebody's work over time, and then thinking of your own process and where one's work might go next.